What's up, gals? Welcome back to my channel. It's Whit here again with another video. So before we even get started with today's video, let me just say I am beyond ecstatic. You guys, here in the US, we've been dealing with our presidential elections and we finally have a new president. Thank you, God. Like, I literally felt like America was like the children of Israel and we're just in bondage and slavery for 4 years. And God finally heard the cries of his people. He heard our suffering cries and just delivered us. Like, I got y'all. Because 2020, this is probably like one of the most just challenging years for everybody. So let me just say I am beyond happy and I'm ready to go into 2021 with just fresh, new. Like, let's leave all of the mess of 2020 here and let's just start rebuilding, okay? Let's just start trying to reunite and unify this nation that Trump drove into the ground. So if you're a Trump supporter or whatever, sorry, but I'm happy he lost. But yes, so today I'm going to be ranking my rainbow palettes. This year I went a little crazy, okay? I went out and got so many rainbow palettes and I've just been enjoying, like, just colorful makeup. So I decided it would be fun to just rank them from like my favorite to least favorite. So yes, before we get started though, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, follow your girl on IG, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, leave a comment down below. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you enjoy these type of videos and what else I should rank. I do have a Juvia's Place video, like ranking my Juvia's Place palettes. But I don't want to limit myself to brands because Juvia's Place is like probably the only brand that I have a pretty extensive collection of. So maybe we can do like different color schemes. But yes, leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's go and get started. When it comes to ranking my rainbow palettes, I'm going based off of like what is like my go-to. Like when I think of doing a colorful eye look, what am I going to grab first and what am I not gonna grab first? And then also range. I like for my palettes, especially when it comes to the shades of blue, purple, and green, I feel like those shades come in so many variations. The more a palette has, the more I love it. So that's also playing a role. And then honestly, somebody has to be last. So alrighty, so please no one take offense to this. If you feel like a palette, you like it more, it's okay for us to have different opinions. It's okay if you like it. It's okay if you feel like it should be higher up. At least when it comes to me, I didn't feel that way. So that's why they're ranked the way they rank. Okay, so starting off, this one hurts my soul. This one really does hurt for me to put it dead last, but it's going to have to be the Colored Rain, their Vivid Pigments. So this is what the inside of the palette looks like. It is gorgeous. Yet again, it has variation. Like it has all these purples, it has all these blues, it has these greens, and then it has like this really like intense yellow, pink, and this orange, and this red. This red is crazy. Like, I probably have to say this and the palette I have at number 1 probably have the best reds I have ever seen, like ever. But the reason why this is ranked so low is I generally I hate the formula of these eyeshadows. And that is hard for me to say because I love Colored Rain's eyeshadows, but I don't know what this is. And I know it's a pressed pigments palette, but I feel like I'm pretty good with pressed pigments, but this palette does not work. And I remember watching so many reviews on this because I recently bought this back in, I want to say September is when they finally restocked this. I bought this back then and I watched so many people's videos and I was just like, when I would see people who didn't like it, I'm just like, no, it's just you. Because I don't take people's negative reviews to heart because I'm just like, everyone's different. So you might not like it and I might, or vice versa. But y'all, it just does not work. I've tried a couple of looks with this palette and each time they always come out very splotchy, very harsh, like it's not blending. This purple right here, oh my gosh, it's so pretty, but it's so hard and difficult to work with. So honestly, this is dead last because of the formulation. The color scheme would have had it higher up on the pyramid, but the formula, just thinking about how hard it is to work with this makes it lower in place. And then also, I'm so mad at myself. I should have held out and waited to buy it on sale. I bought this full price and I don't like it. Ugh. All right, so next on the list is the Juvia's Place The Warrior 3 palette. And the reason why this is lower ranked, even though I love Juvia's Place formula, like I said earlier, the color scheme. So when I'm thinking of a rainbow palette, I want to have more colors than this. So I would like to have more greens, more purples, more blues, you know. But yet again, this is a 9-pan palette, so obviously they had a theme they were going for here. So it's not that it's a bad palette, but based off of how I like to do my makeup and like what I like to have, this, I just wouldn't pick this first. This is something I would use with something else. So yes. And then also some of the shades are just a little too muted for me. Like this red is not nearly as vibrant as I would like for my reds to be and the orange. So yet again, when I'm thinking of like a really colorful look, I wouldn't think to grab this one first. All right, next on the list is the Morphe James Charles palette. This palette is huge. Okay, I like me a big palette, but like his palette is like huge, and I'm mad that he came out with the smaller version after everybody bought the big one. But this is what the palette looks like. I can't even hold it up and have myself in frame because it's so big. But this is a palette that literally he gave you options. Like you got your, you know, your different purples, your blues, your greens, you got the yellow, the pink. That pink is beautiful. And you got a bunch of neutrals up here. You got the black, the white. I don't know why I don't use this palette nearly as much. I don't know if it's the brand or the size of it, but like it has what I need. It has what I want, but I just, when I'm thinking of doing something colorful, I don't think to grab this palette, and I don't know what it is. I really want to say it might just be the size of the palette. It might just be too huge. And then also, it might just be Morphe. I don't really have an issue with James Charles. Like, he doesn't really bother me for the most part. Morphe, they have their moments, but I don't know. The palette's just there. I don't know why I don't grab it that often. Okay, next on the list is the Trendy in Tokyo palette by BH Cosmetics. I freaking love this palette. It is so cute. It is so adorable. And if you are, you just gonna keep doing that to me. Like, y'all see how my lighting keeps messing up, like when I hold these things up, you know? It's really kind of annoying. But anyways, so this is the palette and no one's in focus. Cool. All right, so this palette, I love it. It's so pretty, it's so cute. You get 16 shades in here, and I believe it's $16. And the mattes in here, I love the mattes. The shimmers, I've experienced better. The shimmers are not nearly as reflective and metallic. They're a little bit more, they feel like satin finishes to me. But this is a perfect starter palette if you're someone who wants to get into color, but you don't want to do one of those huge palettes, you know, like the Coastal Scents, the big BH Cosmetics, you know, remember the old school palettes? Or even the Morphe, their 35 pan palettes. If you don't want anything that big, this is like the perfect starter. Like, you kind of get what you need, straight to the point, and it's not overwhelming. So love this little palette. All right, next is a palette that is newer to my collection, and I bought this because they had it sale like a couple weeks ago. This is the Glam Light, their Painter's palette, and oh my gosh, y'all, this is so cute. And I had a chance to use this. Let me just say, the formula, Glam Light has a very nice formula. So it's in the style of like, you know, like an actual professional painter, like, or a painter would use like a palette like this. I love like the concept of this. And then it's kind of straight to the point with the colors. So the reason why this is not higher ranked is because, like I said, I like to have variation. So yes, you do get like 2 blues, but you only get like 1 purple, 1 pink. So, I mean, when I'm thinking of just full on like creating, I wouldn't grab this first, but I wouldn't say it's last 2. I would just say when I'm thinking of like a catered look, I would definitely pull something out like this. But yeah, this is actually really nice. Okay, the next 2 palettes that I have here, I feel like they should be ranked together, but they're 2 separate palettes. They're sold separately, but they're by the same brand. So on the, I guess the lower one would be the Slush 2, and then the one that I had ranked above it would be the Slush palette. But I feel like these should be in conjunction with each other because they honestly, I feel like you kind of need both. If you want like a full-on well-rounded like rainbow palette, I wouldn't say pick one or the other because what the one is lacking, the other has. Let me hold them both up. So as you guys can see, this palette over here, all the oranges in here are super muted, but the orange in this palette is way more vibrant. And then in this palette you get a red, and this one you don't get a red. And then the greens and yellows in this palette are way more vibrant. These are a little bit more muted over here. So that's why I'm just like, I feel like these palettes should be placed right next to each other. But if I had to pick like one over the other, like one being higher than the other, I guess I would go with the Slush, the original Slush palette, and have the Slush 2 rank underneath it. But yes, I feel like these are two palettes that definitely pair well together. So yeah, I bought this in a bundle deal, so I bought both of these for like $50-something. Next on my list would be the Sample Beauty The Painter's Palette. I do have a tutorial on my channel using this. I absolutely love this palette, and I kind of feel bad for this palette because it came out around the time that the Be Perfect Stacey Marie the Carnival 3 palette came out, and I just felt like this palette didn't get its shine because everyone was going crazy for that palette. But this is what it looks like, and this is truly probably the most well-rounded rainbow colorful palette that I have ever seen. Let me put it in focus so you guys can see it better. You get everything here. So you get some cool tone neutrals here. You get a white. Where's the white at? You get a white, you get a black down here, you get some warm tone neutrals here, you get a gray in the palette, you get a silver, you get all your rainbow colors, you get this really beautiful orange shade, this red, like literally you got everything in here. And the formula isn't too bad, and it's not too badly priced either. So yeah, that's that palette. I absolutely love this, and like I said, somebody has to be last, somebody has to be first. So I mean, I have other palettes that like I think I would grab before this one, but this is definitely a great palette, and it's definitely high up on my list for a reason. All right, next is a palette that I have raved about here on my channel. I love, love, love this palette, and this is the Plain and Makeup by Yolanda, the Artistry Vault palette. Ooh. And this is in collaboration with Beauty by Melissa. So I'm gonna hold this up real quick, and I want you guys to completely ignore these 3 rows over here because this has nothing to do with rainbow. But she literally split this palette up to where you get your beautiful neutrals here, you get your rainbow shades. Just working based off of this. When I say I love this palette, I love the colors, I love the quality of these shadows. Oh my goodness, like I can't, like when I got this palette, I could not get enough of this. Like I was using this, like I love, 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 love this palette. All right, next is another palette by the Plain and Makeup by Yolanda, and this is the Beat Down palette. This is in collaboration with Beats by Debs, and this is your full-on rainbow palette. Like she gave you everything, and then she also sectioned it so you get your greens over here, get your blues, get your purples, you get like your deeper shades, like deepen stuff up, you get your like warmer orange reddish shades here, your pinks, and then like some shimmers. And this palette is gorgeous. The only thing that I will say that I don't care too much about this palette is the red. I have definitely seen more vibrant reds. Like I said, that Colored Rain red, that Colored Rain red eyeshadow like is beautiful. But yeah, other than that, this palette is gorgeous. I love it. It's so pretty. I want to just do another look with it. It's funny how I'm doing a ranking my rainbows palettes in. I have on a very, very neutral eye look. Alrighty, almost choked. Alrighty, can you guys guess what is number 1? I feel like some of you guys probably already know, and that is the Be Perfect Carnival 3 palette in collaboration with Stacey Marie. Let me open this palette for you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh, first and foremost, if you don't know, when it comes to the shades pink and purple, they are my favorite colors to put on myself. I feel like I look so good in pink and purples. So the fact that she literally gave us 3 rows, or is it 3 columns, whatever you want to say, of just that shade makes me so happy. And then over here, another color that I love is like khakis, dark forest greens, like shades like this. And the fact that we got it all, like, oh my gosh, y'all, like she snapped on this palette. I know the year is not over, but I would have to say this is probably the best purchase that I made this year. This is probably my favorite palette that I ordered this year. I absolutely love this palette. What's crazy about this palette is that the promo pictures, that's another thing too. The promo pictures is what you actually get. Have you ever ordered something or you seen something and it's like, sometimes matching up? Like the promo pictures online look a lot more vibrant, and then I got it looks a little washed out. Not with this. Like what you see is what you get. It's so crazy intense. And then this red right here, oh my gosh, gorgeous. Between this and, like I said, the Colored Rain red eyeshadow, listen, it's giving everybody a run for their money because those reds are intense. But yes, I love that. All right, you guys, so that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Ranking my palettes or my rainbow palettes was super fun. It was different, you know, it's not every time I do eyeshadow tutorials, not every time, you know, I just want to sit down and talk. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow your girl on Instagram. And until next time, I'll talk to you beauties later. Bye.